What is up, guys? Joel with Black.Death.Thrash.Doom, and it is time for part 2 of my black metal collection, 25 CDs. We are going through all my CDs first, and we went through 25 last time. Admittedly, this 25 is more interesting than the last ones. There's a lot more variety and some bands that maybe you've never heard of, or if you have, maybe you've never heard before. We shall see, but we're starting things off with Anorexia Nervosa, the Drudenhouse album, and this is a French symphonic black metal band that is no joke. The best way I can describe this band is fucking obnoxious. These guys are loud. They are insanely loud, and the Symphonics really take center stage, although it's actually a pretty guitar-heavy band too, but the Symphonics are just loud, obnoxious, in your face, and really fucking good. Anorexia Nervosa, Drudenhouse is a great place to start. In my opinion, they only really have a couple albums that are excellent. This one and New Obscurantis Order, which I still need to get. I used to have that a long time ago, but I don't anymore. But yeah, moving on. If you need loud, blasting black metal, then that is the thing for you. Moving on, we've got a band I've talked about several times on this channel. Anti. This is Anti from Germany. And they play like DSBM, depressive suicidal black metal, although sometimes they do blast away. In fact, this first song is kind of deceiving because this first song starts out fairly fast, and you might think it's just a regular black metal album, but no, this album is very dark and depressing and really amazing, and something that I love so much that I also have it on vinyl. Moving on to some also incredibly dark stuff. This is one of the albums you absolutely need to hear if you've never heard Eoratos, if that's how you pronounce that. Gods Without Name. Colorado act. Now, the main dude from this is also the main dude from Nightbringer and Eclipse and Bestia Arcana. And actually, he used to play in Excommunion, one of my old favorite death metal bands. But this shit is deep, dark, absolute chaos, and masterfully played, just really hypnotic and mean and dark and vicious and almost cosmic in its fucking execution. This is a really insanely crazy album, just weird, and I can't say dark enough. Is there a better word for dark? It's blacker than the blackest black times infinity. Moving on to another band that is just like dark as fuck. This is a theme today. We've got Eosoth with number 3, and this is a fucking fantastic dark piece of French black metal that does have a little bit of death metal influences in it as well. Very, very heavy stuff. Like, this is super deep, dark, fucking crushing black metal. So heavy, I wouldn't ever classify it as death metal, but it's almost to that degree of heaviness. It's so goddamn suffocating. Eosoth kicks fucking ass, and as does this album by Eosoth as well. This is Arrow in Heart. This is Eosoth 4. And yeah, this album is incredible. Really cool artwork, but nothing inside. Just absolutely nothing. Just the CD. No lyrics, no nothing. But yeah, Eosoth is, again, just violent, dirty, dark, deep black metal with severe death metal wannabe vibes in the best way possible. Just fucking goddamn heavy and crushing. This is a very recent purchase, although this is something that I have wanted for years. This is Apollyon, Diabola Gratia, and unfortunately I ordered this recently, and it came in, and as you can see just from the little side thing here, it came in kind of water damaged. And not kind of water damaged, it's really water damaged, but yeah, I just got this recently. It's just an EP, and you know, I kind of wish I hadn't got it. There's only really 2 songs on here. There's an intro, then there's an 8-minute long song, then there's like an in-between track, another intro, like interlude type track, and then there's like a 4-minute song, and then there's an outro, so you get 3 like intros, interludes, and outros, and you only really get 2 pieces of black metal. It's pretty good, though. It's mid-paced, buzzsaw guitar, fairly riffy, obviously guitar-centered, but Apollyon, they're from Texas, and I don't think these guys exist anymore, but I just remember seeing this in magazines way back in the day. I always wanted to give it a shot, and it was cheap, so I got it. Moving on, one of my oldest CDs, man, Arcturus Aspera Hyam Symphonia. Now, this is my favorite Arcturus, and I know I'm going to get shit for that because people like the Vortex shit. They really like his clean vocals, and you know, I understand that that's a whole mood in itself. I'm not actually horribly familiar with later Arcturus, but their first fucking album, Aspera, is fucking goddamn genius. This is not an original pressing, I don't believe, but it's a super early one. But yeah, this is a really good piece of symphonic black metal art. I mean, it's got Hellhammer and Garm in it. What else do you fucking need? It's symphonic black metal, kind of thin production, but it really works for it, and very icy, and just, God, it's just got an atmosphere all its own. There's really, I was going to say there's nothing that really sounds quite like this album, but there is actually something that sounds a little bit like this album, and it's actually coming up in today's video. As is what we're listening to. Moving on, we've got Archon and Faustus, Hell Injection. God, I hope I don't get censored for some of these goddamn covers. But Archon and Faustus, Hell Injection, their first album. This is definitely like it's pretty raw, and it's got Jesus Christ. It's pretty raw, and what the fuck is on the inside? All right, the inside's pretty safe. So here's the thing with Archon and Faustus. A lot of people would probably put this maybe in their death metal collection. I guess I will say that I put pretty much all of my Black Death in my black metal collection, no matter if it leans more death metal or if it leans more black metal, and that actually just saves me from having to look for it, because then I can not have to think, okay, did I put Archon and Faustus in my black metal collection, or did I put it in my death metal collection? Is God Dethroned in my black metal collection, or is it in my death metal collection? Is Behemoth in my black metal collection, or is it in my death metal collection? And I can see arguments for both, but for myself, and to save me having to look for crazy shit, I just put all of my Black Death into my black metal collection. So I'm going to explain that if you don't know who Archon and Faustus is, they're one of the heaviest fucking bands on the planet. Scathing, vicious, violent black metal that is definitely bordering on death metal, and if you had Archon and Faustus in your death metal collection, I would not bat an eye. So here's their second album, Filth Catalyst. Oh, speaking of which, the first album, Dead Cunt Maniac, The Ominous Circle, The Silent Voices of Perversion. That song is so goddamn good. You need to listen to The Silent Voices of Perversion if you've never heard this band before. Archon and Faustus, Filth Catalyst. This is my most recent purchase of them. This is probably the most raw, but just goddamn suffocating atmosphere. Absolutely pummeling, destructive black metal. Again, with near death metal vibes. These guys are absolute chaos incarnate, drunken, fucking crazy French guys. These fuckers are amazing. One of my favorite bands in the world. Okay, moving on. We've got Archon and Faustus, Perdition Insanibilis. If you saw my last collection update video, you saw that I got this bad boy on vinyl for $10 at Amoeba Music. But yeah, this is more of the same, although this is where they start really getting fucking good. Those first two albums are good. Don't get me wrong, they're great, but they are not like this album and the album that follows this and the EP that follows that. Everything on this album is fucking godly. M33 Constellation, Profanus Codex, Whirlwind Journey, just fucking incredible stuff. You cannot go wrong with this. Suffocating as fuck. Yeah. Now, I do have the next album on CD and vinyl of theirs, but there's a reason I'm going to show that in a different video. I'll just say it. It's because it's an A5 Digipack. I'll probably just show my A5 Digipack separately. So then, after that album, which I do have again on vinyl and A5, after that album we're treated to Passing the Necromantian, and this is like 2017, I believe, and it's an EP, but it's honestly long enough to almost be an album. It's like I can't remember, but it's pretty fucking epic. It's amazing. Some of the greatest artwork I have ever seen. It's like this architecture of this building, and dude, it's just goddamn. And it's more of the same, except for them just getting better and better and heavier and more destructive and pure fucking chaos. I love the packaging. This is one of those digipacks where I'm like, digipacks ain't that bad sometimes. This is one of those digipacks that I love. You've got the nice tray where your CD actually snaps in, doesn't slide in, and beautiful, like, matte finish, just so awesome. This is the only CD that I have in my collection that does not have a front cover, so if anybody can guess what this is without me having to tell you, I will be very impressed. Of course, you could always look it up or say, I knew what it was, but yeah, leave a comment if you happen to know what this is. And now I will tell you what it is. It is Armageddon and Spiritism, and this is a fucking... Oh god, this album's so good. And the reason I keep forgetting to replace this is because, you know, it's still got the back art, so I see it on my collection, and it's got its end label, so I don't really notice it, and I keep forgetting to replace this. But one day I need to replace this. This is Swedish black metal, very bass heavy, which is fucking incredible. If you like things like Shining, especially the albums where their bass is just absolutely prominent and up front as fuck, you will probably like this. This is like mid-paced, really weird, odd, but catchy as fuck black metal that seriously is like more about the bass than it is guitar. It's goddamn delicious. Armageddon and Spiritism. I need to get more albums by them, although I've heard them and they're not as good as that one, in my opinion. Moving on, we've got Ash Borer, and one of my favorite digipacks, yet also the most pain in the ass digipack because it's huge. It's like literally, here, I'll show you how much bigger it is than a regular CD case. So it's like that much bigger. It sticks up on my shelf and actually touches the other shelf, and it's just annoying to try to slide out. But anyways, it's got this like crazy like matte finish where it's actually textured, and then this is actually textured as well. And Ash Borer also has one of my favorite logos of all time. I saw these guys in, 2017 in Portland, and they just killed it. I saw them with Hell, and goddamn, what a show. But yeah, really cool presentation here. If you like things like, I think the most obvious reference would be Fell Voices. They did a split with Fell Voices, in fact. In fact, I have that split on vinyl. Ash Borer is like Cascadian atmospheric black metal. I guess the Wolves in the Throne Room would apply also. Maybe Alda, though Alda's a lot more mellow. Ash Borer is more of a like wall of sound kind of thing going on. And we've got Ash Borer's second album, Cold of Ages. Kind of hard to read where it's white right there, but yeah, Ash Borer, Cold of Ages. This is another giant digipack, but really cool stuff. Removed Forms, god damn, that song is fucking incredible, so good. But if you like slower, atmospheric, wall of noise black metal, and you like stuff like Fell Voices and Wolves in the Throne Room, you're probably gonna dig Ash Borer. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about that band. And then finally, the last Ash Borer album I have, I got this when I saw them. This is the Irrepassable Gate. And this is a really cool album, but I've not heard this one a whole hell of a lot for some reason. I just kind of keep forgetting I own it, honestly. It's one of these thin digipacks, and it kind of just gets hidden in my collection. I need to listen to this one more. The other two I'm pretty familiar with. This one I have not heard that many times. But this is the stuff that they were playing mostly live, and it was fucking crushing. And from what I do remember listening to that album, it was amazing. Moving on, Astrial. This is what my cat is named after. Not because I'm like the hugest, like Astrial is not my favorite band in the world or anything like that, but I just really like the name, and yeah, it reminds me of Azrael from, the Smurfs? But anyways, Astrial with 2 A's. I've always liked that. There's just something about the spelling. Anyways, yeah, my black cat, my Black Panther, that's his name. Reticent Misanthropy. These guys are Australian. Brisbane, maybe? But yeah, Reticent Misanthropy is really fucking cool shit. If you like stuff like, I don't know, like Sacramentum or Dissection or like Epoch of Unlight or like Dawn, you will like this. It's very speedy, melodic, black metal, very riffy, and just, God, so many good riffs. So many goddamn good riffs, and nobody ever talks about Astrial. They have a few albums, at least one more, and it's really good as well. And I also have a 7-inch from these guys, but, yeah, good stuff. Check this band out if you've never heard of Astrial before. Really cool stuff. In fact, I would recommend, which one is it? Ode to Antiquity is goddamn also delicious. I don't know why I'm saying delicious today. Terrific. Moving on, we've got maybe a questionable band. I don't know if these guys have any NS influences or not. Astrofaes, but these guys definitely have, like, there's a sun wheel on the back. So, I don't know, but it's like when you read their lyrics and when you look on archives, it doesn't seem like they have NS influences. I don't know. I haven't heard this in a really long time until today, researching this a little bit because it had been a long time. But these guys, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, it's the Nocturnal Mortem wannabe band. So yeah, these guys sound like Nocturnal Mortem or maybe a speedier Drudg, whatever you want to call them. But Astrofaes, not bad stuff. They have a lot of albums, but it's like, they kind of all sound the samey. And it's not bad. It's okay. It's all right. Nothing to fucking write home about. This is actually a local band, and this is another one of those bands where it's like, I could see this being in somebody's death metal collection. So this band is from a couple towns over from me. I know a couple of the dudes in here, or maybe all of them, but this is Attic. And this is their Foster album, and Attic is kind of hard to find on YouTube. I'll link one of their songs below, but this album is not actually on YouTube. I might actually ask Chris if he minds if I upload this album, but Attic play, like, I don't want to call it Black Death or, like, Death into Black, because it's really not. It's like some of their songs are more death metal, and some of their songs are more black metal, and some of them are a little more extreme and harsher, and then some of them are a little bit more subdued and bring up Druid again, kind of like that. And so this is a strange album, but it's really fucking good. Particle is amazing, though I wish it ran for like 15 minutes instead of the few minutes that it runs. Summer is goddamn amazing. I really wish these were on YouTube. You know what? The Washing might be, and if it is, I will link that down below. But you should definitely check these guys out. I don't know what's up with the weird pizza. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but, yeah. So, moving on, we've got, I can only assume it's pronounced Augrimmer, Autumnal Heavens. Now, these guys are Finnish, and these Finland bastards play some... God, I hate to say they just play kind of standard black metal, but they do kind of just play kind of standard black metal. I would throw in maybe, like, if you like Dark Throne, you'd probably like them, or if you like... Noctuary, if you like stuff like that, you probably like them. Even Epoch of Unlight, I keep mentioning that band, but nothing horribly great here, but nothing horrible either. It's just black metal from Finland, but you can do much better coming from Finland, you know what I mean? There's so much good Finnish black metal. So that one was just an EP, 4-song EP. This is their full album, and then they do have another album after this, which I've never heard. This album is pretty good. I think it's a lot better than the EP, in my opinion. A Ride the Celestial Night. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's a pretty good song. It's okay. It's kind of underproduced, thin production, trebly guitar, riffy, but... nothing special. Really nothing special. It's probably the least special thing in this giant stack. Now, remember I mentioned nobody sounds like that first Arcturus album. Actually, Autumn Verses kind of reminds me of that first Arcturus album. There's kind of those, like, whimsical, like, floaty keyboards and atmospheric cosmic thing going on, but it's also got some really great guitar work in there as well. But this is Tales of Disconsolation, and this is their only album, I believe, and these guys are from... fuck. You know what? I remember, I think, every single band in here except for Autumn Verses. I do not remember where these guys are from. I could look it up real quick, but meh. Pretty good stuff, though. If you do like... that first Arcturus album, you really should check that out. Or if you like Emperor, or if you like Limbonic art. Okay, so this is what we're listening to. This is what's in the background, and we've only got a few CDs left, but this is Avenger from Czechia. I know one of my videos I said Czechoslovakia. It's hard to kill old habits, but... it hasn't been Czechoslovakia for a long time, but Avenger, Shadows of the Damned. I remember seeing this in a Metal Maniacs, and just like loving the cover and just being, I don't know, enamored with their freaking logo and loving their cover and just not knowing anything about it. This was like back when, you know, you only had magazines, or if you were lucky enough to have the internet, they probably still didn't talk about this. But Avenger, Shadows of the Damned, this is good shit. So this is this is really if you could hear what's going on in the background, this is like black metal mixed with Bolt Thrower. It's very driving, pounding, heavy drums, mid-pace guitar riffing, and some nice vocals that are kind of screamed, kind of yelled, and just great shit. Breath of Night Productions, just nothing you even hear about anymore these days, but yeah, Avenger, Shadows of the Damned. I got this for super cheap like fucking 20 years ago or more, and it's still in my collection, along with Fall of Devotion, Wrath and Blasphemy from the same band, Czechia's Avenger. This is more of the same, though I will say, oddly enough, as much as this old Avenger, the Shadows of the Damned album is like, it looks, it sounds, and it feels like it should be rougher than this, it is not. This has got a weird, cavernous, very open, reverby production that's just a little weird, a little off-putting, but the songs are there, they're really good, and it's still got that same fucking, like, Bolt Thrower, almost a monomarth, like chugga 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 fucking mid-pace shit going on, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Again, it's just the productions are a little weird, but Avenger, this band changed their name, and there's no really, I have not seen any rhyme or reason as to why they've changed their name, but these guys have a new name and one new album out. If I can remember to put it on the video, I'll try to link that down below as well, and maybe leave a note somewhere around here that says what the name of that band is, because I can't remember. It's not an English word, but Avenger, check them out, but I do recommend listening to the Shadows of the Damned CD. Okay, moving on, we've got 2 CDs left. First of all, we've got Aversaphira, Texas vortex of absolute chaos of epic proportions, noisy, destructive, explosive black metal that is bordering on just pure chaos and insanity. Check out those pictures. I mean, these guys fucking mean business. Aversaphira, check out that logo too. Aversaphira are absolutely destructive and pummeling black metal that is just pure fury, and this second song, Detonation, is not only a great place to start, but a great descriptor of what this band is capable of. Absolute explosive detonations of black metal and chaos, and I highly recommend Aversaphira. They have several albums out. This is the only one I have, but I do recommend this one. It's really good. And the last CD we have for you, for part 2 of the Black Metal Collection. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you know when I put out, you know, part 3, and comment what was your favorite thing on here. What have you picked up lately? What black metal have you been listening to? That would be awesome. Give a thumbs up. The best way you can support the channel. But yeah, here we go. Avicii. Now, this band is from, maybe it's a one-man dude. Maybe it's a one-man band. I think it is, but Avicii, The Divine Tragedy. This is one or possibly 2 dudes from Arizona, I believe. These guys are no longer around. Avicii play black metal that is like, God, it's almost a religious experience. It's tremolo-picked, fairly fast tremolo-picked, but not all the songs necessarily are fast. Hypnotic and almost mystical. It's just, it feels like something, you know what it feels like? And I'm not going to say it sounds like this, but remember Batushka's first album? It kind of reminds me of Batushka's first album, minus the, like, choir chants. It's just really mystical and cosmic and really cool riffs and very dark, and I absolutely love the cover. So there you go, Avicii, The Divine Tragedy? Yeah, pretty good stuff. So there's my Black Metal Collection Part 2. Thank you guys very much for watching. You are amazing. Keep it metal.